Coming up on CBC Vancouver News.
It was the heat dome is hard.
As the anniversary of the deadly heat dome in BC nears, how some cities are keeping residents cool. Plus,
it's always challenging when we have multiple calls at the same time.
Squamish Search and Rescue responds to one of its busiest weekends of the year that saw one man die near a waterfall. And
this is just an insane demand for Canada.
Jerseys are flying off the shelves as Team Canada gets set to face off against Switzerland in Vancouver.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Janella Hamilton. More than a dozen heat records were broken Monday in BC, and today some parts of the province are again reaching into the low 30s. It comes just days before the anniversary of the deadly 2021 heat dome. One of the hardest hit communities was New Westminster, where 33 people died. Since then, the city has been looking at ways to bring some relief to residents. Amelia John reports.
From June to September, misting stations like this one in New Westminster help keep people cool when it gets hot.
I love it. I actually like getting cool, and I like, when you're really hot, it feels refreshing.
I like them, and then a lot of kids who use them, and I walk by and accidentally stick my feet in there.
It just want to cool myself down.
13 misting stations on blue posts have been installed across the city since 2022. They have a tap with fresh cold water and are one of the tools the city brought in after the 2021 heat dome.
In my building, we did not have air conditioning, and at night it was really hard because the apartment did not cool off at night. It was so hot during the day.
New Westminster recorded one of the highest per capita death rates in the province that summer, with 33 people dying.
It was the heat dome is hard.
New Westminster Mayor Patrick Johnstone says the Brow of the Hill neighborhood was one of the hardest hit areas.
This is where there's a lot of people here who have limited income. There are a lot of vulnerable people in this community, a lot of seniors who live alone, and a lot of smaller and older apartment buildings.
This week, city staff provided an update on the fountain and misting station network to council.
And we recognize that we still have some gaps in the city where we could place some more, and those gaps are based on where the vulnerable populations are and where the urban heat island is most effective, so where the temperatures are highest during a heat dome.
The city now plans to expand the network with hotter summers expected due to climate change. At a cost of up to $15,000 each, the mayor says the misters are worth it if it means saving lives and making the urban space more comfortable.
To cool myself down.
Amelia John, CBC News, New Westminster.
Steve Jung is here with a first look at the weather. Steve, I see we're beginning with that fire danger map.
Yeah, absolutely, Janella. It has been a stretch of hotter and drier weather for a large part of BC, including here on the south coast, and that has led to a very significant shift in the fire danger here in the province. We can see pretty much the entirety of BC now under moderate to high fire danger, including larger and growing pockets of extreme fire danger rating. Even in the southeast, an area that was at one point the lowest fire danger rating in the entire province is now moderate to high fire danger. But it looks like we have some relief on the way. Over Wednesday, we can see some showers forming over the province, scattered at times, but really as we get through Thursday evening and then the early morning hours of Friday, more showers in the forecast. We'll get into that later in the show.
Thanks so much, Steve. It's been a deadly few months in the Sea to Sky region, and search and rescue crews say this past weekend was one of the busiest for calls this year. Alana Kelly has more.
From a water rescue to mountaintop extractions, first responders received 5 calls this weekend in the Sea to Sky region. One of those calls was for a 31-year-old man who died in Britannia Creek.
They were canyoneering through Britannia Creek and they ran into an incident and one of the members of the party ended up tragically losing their life.
Canyoneering is when a person uses ropes to navigate through waterfalls. The sport is growing in popularity in the Sea to Sky.
It does present some challenges for rescue, for sure, and we train to do those rescues.
During a 7-hour time frame on June 20th, there were 4 calls for help. On Sunday, a body was recovered from Alta Lake in Whistler. And earlier this month, 2 paddleboarders drowned near Squamish.
At this time of year, we always see an increase in our call volume, just more people out recreating.
Slips and falls, along with dehydration, are common rescues.
I usually say, May, June are slip and slide months, and this is where we see usually the most extreme cases in terms of injuries.
And summer is just getting started.
And so I really call this the most dangerous time of the year because it feels warm down there, but we've got snowpack up there.
According to the BC Coroner Service, 2019 was the worst year in the province, with 21 hiking and climbing related deaths. At least 10 people have died while recreating in the Sea to Sky region this year.
It's always challenging when we have multiple calls at the same time because we do have limited resources and we have to allocate those resources accordingly.
Police say it's been an incredibly busy and tragic past few months in the region.
The message that I would want to send is do the research, be prepared for what you're going to do, let somebody know where you're going. If you get into trouble, call early.
The 4 people who were rescued over the weekend were able to use satellite phones or cell phones to call for help. So if you're recreating outdoors, make sure you can call for help and know your limits and stick within them. Alana Kelly, CBC News, Britannia Beach.
Wednesday will be another massive day for soccer fans. Canada is back on the pitch facing Switzerland here in Vancouver at the FIFA World Cup. The CBC's Dan Bird has more on Canada's push to finish at the top of its group.
The morning after Canada's 6-0 thumping of Qatar, the run was on for jerseys.
I got a small one. And then I realized my grandson is still wearing his Canada rugby t-shirt, and I thought I'd get him one too.
The manager of this sport check in downtown Vancouver says an emergency order of 2,700 Canada kits is welcome, but...
they'd probably be gone today, I would imagine.
And demand is well above the 2010 Winter Games.
This is the craziest thing I've ever been involved with sport check. I've got through the Olympics. 10 times that. This has just been insane demand for Canada, any other jersey as well. People are just coming from everywhere, just eating up everything.
But on Wednesday, that other jersey will also be red and white, and supporters of Switzerland will be noisy.
Something like this, but way bigger.
The local consul general is being diplomatic.
I'm obviously a Swiss fan, but I'm also neutral as a Swiss. I just hope that the best team may win. For us, obviously, if we can beat Canada, that means we would stay in Vancouver for another game, which for me personally would be awesome.
Canada sits at the top of its group, ahead of Switzerland thanks to goals scored.
So in order for them to stay there, all they have to do is to draw with Switzerland.
But CBC Sports senior contributor Shireen Ahmed says this game is a big one.
They are definitely playing for a nation. They're in a position where they absolutely will go forward, but a win against Switzerland would not only solidify that status, it would give them an added confidence they need because, again, this is only their 3rd cup appearance for Canada at a Men's World Cup.
So it's the Coast Mountains against the Swiss Alps, and no one is neutral in this matchup. A crucial test for a Canadian team with big expectations right here at home. Dan Burrett, CBC News, Vancouver.
While excitement ramps up for that game, our Janella Hamilton sat down with former Whitecaps and Team Canada player Terry Felix to talk about what it means to have the national team back on his old turf.
I want to talk to you about a soccer player, and not just any soccer player. He was the first First Nations pro soccer player on the continent, according to the Vancouver Whitecaps. His name is Terry Felix, and he's from the St'elas First Nation in the Fraser Valley. Here's a clip of Terry in his playing days way back in 1983 at BC Place Stadium. That's him, number 15, with the assist.
Terry went on to play 5 matches with Canada
the first Indigenous player to do so. He left professional sport to raise a family. I sat down with him to talk soccer and, of course, the World Cup. So, Terry, thank you for joining me and thank you for the visit.
Oh, you're welcome.
You were the first Indigenous soccer player to play with the Vancouver Whitecaps and the Canadian men's national team.
Yeah.
Take us back to when you first put that professional jersey on and went out in the field. What was that like for you?
I couldn't jog from here to the center line because I was just so scared and nervous. And it took about 15 minutes for me to get into the game because my legs are rubbery, my breathing was just going 100 miles an hour and same as my heartbeat. Yeah, it was really scary because BC Place was packed, 50, 60,000 people, and that was the biggest game I ever played.
Fans in Vancouver and across BC and across the world are going to be watching FIFA here in Vancouver. How does that make you feel?
It's just an amazing thing to know that they're coming to our backyard because my family is from Musqueam. So BC Place is right on our traditional lands.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing for us for the World Cup to be coming here. Pretty exciting.
How did you get into soccer?
There's nothing to do in the house. We had CBC and a Bellingham station.
Channel 12.
And Channel 12. And we only had like 2 radio stations, CBC and Chilliwack. There was nothing to do in the house, so we were always outside, probably 8-10 hours a day. And there was no recreation for us. There was a soccer ball, and that's all we did. We played soccer 7 days a week.
Your playing days were cut short, unfortunately, by a serious injury while you were practicing with the Canadian national team. How did you deal with that?
And I stepped in a hole, probably about the size of a silver dollar, and it tore a little ligament on the inside of my right knee. The doctor said, "You tore a ligament." The coach said, "We're going to have to send you home." And I phoned my wife. This is real funny because I phoned my wife and I said, "I got hurt, I'm coming home." She says, "Terry, I'm pregnant." And so 2 things happened at once. And we got home and we're all nervous sitting around, and the next day, and then the Whitecaps called me. And I told Robin, I said, "They're probably going to extend my contract." So I went in the meeting and the coach said, "We know you got hurt and we're releasing you from the Whitecaps." So within 48 hours, I was starting with the Olympic, National, and the Whitecaps to being hurt, expecting my first child, and getting released from the Whitecaps. So everything just turned within minutes, really. So soccer is a business. You get hurt, you can't play, and that was the end of my professional career at that time.
When your soccer career was over, you found a new challenge, and that was you went from the soccer pitch to the inside of prison walls, working with federal inmates.
Yeah.
Why did you want to do that? What drew you to that kind of work?
We went to the Indian Day School, where there was a lot of abuse at the hands of our teachers, a lot of abuse from our church, the priest. So we do have a lot of things in common with the inmates. So they went through terrible abuses, like they've been abused so much more than I have, so I can relate to them. And the things that helped me, soccer, quitting drugs and alcohol.
If I can bring your experience back to the FIFA tournament just for a moment, and potential Indigenous soccer players playing at the pro level.
Yeah.
Do you think somewhere right now on some reserve in BC, there's a guy or a gal that's dreaming of achieving what you did in the soccer world and in Canada?
Yeah, and when I do talk to the kids, I try to tell them, like, my experience of playing soccer is they get all the coaching, they get all the technical coaching. All they have to do is train a little bit harder, because when you play at the professional level, international level, it's just the only difference between them and amateur is your fitness level. So I'm trying to tell them to work a little harder, train a little harder, take care of your body. They're just about there. There's so many that can make it as long as they just raise their fitness level.
The world's eyes are on Vancouver as Canada co-hosts the FIFA Men's World Cup. Terry hopes those eyes will once again be on a First Nations player on Team Canada's roster.
Coming up, the construction industry reacts to the federal and provincial plan for subsidized housing. Stay with us. Days after Ottawa and BC announced new subsidies for the development sector, backlash continues to grow. Saurabh Sandhu spoke with some in Surrey's construction industry whose opinions remain split about the merits of the plan.
It's a good intent.
Charan Sethi, a Surrey-based developer, says he's optimistic about the government's plan to buy more than 2,000 vacant condos and turn them into affordable housing, but would like to see how the plan is implemented.
Is it going to go through CMHC, BC Housing, non-profit organization? We don't know the details yet.
And not everyone agrees with the intervention.
Government shouldn't get involved in the business of development or buying stuff from developers.
It creates unpredictability in the market. The buyers, they're not sure like what's going to happen, and like is it going to create scarcity of the, that is going to raise up the prices, or it's going to increase the affordability of houses. People are not sure.
BC is facing a 30-year high of unsold condos, almost 6,000 across the province, and Sethi says the glut of inventory is taking a toll on new construction.
Housing is getting to a point where no developers are taking any permits out now, so there's nothing under construction.
The City of Surrey says it has 54,000 units with conditional approval from City Council, but developers are not advancing to the building permit stage because of market conditions.
We are having an uphill battle from last 2 years, and last 6 months been very, very tough.
However, developers are supportive of the reduction in development cost charges included in the plan. Sethi says this will significantly lower the price of a new home.
We did just finish a high-rise. 31% of the total cost was due to fees, processing charges, all of that stuff.
Average DCC in City of Surrey is 52,000 per unit, so that's like 26,000 approximately will be saving.
Minhas says he hopes the worst is over for the construction industry and things should pick up again by the fall. But if his hope translates into reality remains to be seen. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.
Victoria's Bruce Turner lost his hearing at the age of 3. He also lives with a genetic eye condition that has caused him to slowly lose his sight. Bruce now communicates through what is known as the British two-hand manual with the help of an intervener. With June being Deaf-Blind Awareness Month, Bruce gave the CBC's Jason D'Souza a lesson.
Now, E is one of the alphabet. Touch the tip of your index finger. That. E. Now F, 2 more fingers on your index finger, again, like an F. G is clench your fifth, put it in the palm of your hand, that's a G.
Bruce, what has two-hand manual allowed for you to do?
Okay, W, W-H-A-T, what? Oh, it has been able to help me to communicate with people who know to handle. They need to know it. So when you're with someone who knows all about it, you can communicate in a normal way, not exactly the same way as normal, but in the best way for a deaf-blind person to do it. That's just how we do it. We do it only in a different way. T. H, okay. Hey, good. 2 fingers per N. Yeah. KK. Good. Thank you. Got it. Thank. Okay.
Why was he?
Why? Why?
Oh.
Oh. You. Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. So good. So
Such a great teacher.
So good.
Here's a look at the day that was at White Rock Pier. Hot and sunny with lots of people taking in the rays. Steve Jung will have your full BC weather forecast when we return.
I think it's important to give a human face to the stories that we hear every day, the people that they affect. And I think talking to those people is what really gives us the true sense of the impact of the stories that we're hearing.
Investigations into Monday's deadly shooting in Montreal are underway in Quebec and in Alberta. An officer as well as a bystander were killed during a gunfight between an armed man and police. The suspect himself also killed. Steve Rukavina has the latest.
More details are emerging about the deadly shooting in Montreal's Côte-des-Neiges, including the name of the suspect. Here's what we know so far. Police were called to the Hilton Hotel after reports of someone seeing a gun sticking out of a window and gunshots. When the first officers arrived, there was a firefight with the suspect on the ground. Montreal police officer Mohamed Lamine Benradouane was shot and killed. A bystander, Michel Mihazi, was also killed. Videos circulating on social media, which CBC News have not independently verified, appear to show a female officer mistakenly shooting a bystander, believed to be Mihazi, during the gunfight with the suspect. Police haven't confirmed that. Quebec's police watchdog, the BEI, is now investigating with support from provincial police. Quebec's coroner's office has confirmed the suspect is 25-year-old Seth Scott Hatfield from Lethbridge, Alberta. Lethbridge police confirmed they're assisting the BEI in the investigation. The University of Lethbridge also confirmed that Hatfield was a student there. We know Hatfield left behind a long manifesto connected to so-called incel or involuntary celibate culture. The manifesto criticizes, among other things, capitalism, liberalism, Zionism, and online pornography, and suggests targeting pornography companies. Windows seem to have been shot at or broken on a building across from the hotel that houses the office of the parent company of online pornography platform Pornhub. Montreal's mayor says social media and negative online discourse are part of the problem.
D'avoir une vigie aussi sur ce qui se passe, sur une montée aussi d'une haine qui est en fait des fois non rationnelle.
Investigators so far aren't confirming the motive for the shooting or the type of weapon used. Steve Rukavina, CBC News, Montreal.
Healthcare practitioners across Canada are upset with the federal government over a new policy affecting asylum seekers and refugee claimants. The policy affects supplementary healthcare services. Advocates for mental health care are particularly upset over a new yearly limit on the number of therapy sessions refugees can receive. CBC learned about the limit after it was quietly introduced as part of new legislation back in May. Rafi Bujikanian reports.
When Ottawa decided to make refugee claimants pay for a part of some healthcare services, advocates organized protests across Canada.
Call your MP.
But the government went further. An email at the end of April announced a maximum of 10 one-hour treatment sessions per calendar year. Following pushback from therapists, patients already in the system could request to extend their sessions beyond the 10-session limit. But only this year. Starting in 2027, all beneficiaries will be subject to it.
I don't think that is going to be a good idea.
Amir Sadagatipour moved here as an Iranian refugee after a stay in England. He says he benefited from more than 100 hours of counseling.
I'm very grateful from the government or whoever was in charge of that program, you know.
What are we going to do with this? We're going to cover this?
Andrew Gibson agrees. Coming from the Bahamas as a refugee more than 2 years ago, he now runs a community kitchen after receiving extensive therapy.
I was able to be more charismatic, be more human, you know, be more inviting to people, and it helped me a lot.
Their therapist says refugees have often escaped war or other traumas and need more therapy, and says the new rules will have long-term public health consequences.
Hospitals get so jammed up, and then the everyday person also can't go to the hospital. And so all of our resources suddenly become so drained.
Immigration Canada could not say how much money the cuts to hours will save, but says the overhaul to refugee healthcare could amount to about $200 million a year. It has estimated making patients pay some of the costs could save about $17 million this year. Rafi Bujikani on CBC News, Ottawa.
Several First Nations in Ontario are set to become partial owners of a new nuclear reactor. They are teaming up with the province and the federal government. The Williams Treaty's First Nations call it a historic step forward, creating opportunities for future generations.
Economic reconciliation is not achieved simply by inviting First Nations to observe development. It is achieved when First Nations have meaningful opportunities to participate, to invest, to lead, and to help shape the future of projects taking place within their territories.
The two levels of government are providing a loan guarantee of about $700 million to 7 First Nations. It's for a stake in a small modular reactor under construction at the Darlington Power Plant. The federal government says Indigenous ownership is part of its plan to make Canada an energy superpower. On Monday, Ottawa announced plans to build up to 10 new nuclear reactors over the next 15 years. A heat dome is settling in over much of Europe, sending temperatures soaring. London is recording temperatures hotter than Nigeria's biggest city. Italy has issued a heat wave alert in 15 cities, while temperatures in Spain are set to peak above 40 degrees. Ross Cullen reports from Paris, where the heat is setting all-time records.
Well, on Tuesday, the French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu holding another crisis meeting. It's become a daily occurrence here for ministers to try to ensure that they are offering residents and citizens across France emergency relief and measures in care homes and in schools to try to help combat the heat. Tuesday, the hottest ever day in France since records began in the 1940s. At 3 p.m. local time, 30 degrees was the average temperature across the whole of the country. And in fact, to illustrate that point, Brittany, which is in the northwest of France, one of the coldest and wettest parts of the nation, was 43 degrees, showing just how hot it is.
There have always been extreme weather events. There have always been storms. There have always been heat waves. These are just events that are more unusual than our typical day-to-day weather. But what's happening under climate change is that many of these extreme events are becoming intensified. So when we have a heat wave, we're now seeing temperatures in Europe that are 2 to 4 degrees higher than would have been the case without human-caused warming.
Here in the capital, 37 degrees, but very uncomfortable to be outside. We've seen the mayor of Paris open parks all night and even open up the canal to swimming to try to offer residents some respite. However, the heat wave has also been fatal here in France. 2 children died after being left in a hot car. 3 elderly people died due to heat-related complications. And the Prime Minister saying on Tuesday that since the 18th of June, over the past 5 days, 40 people have drowned in rivers and the sea after getting into difficulty, after going into these bodies of water to try to seek relief from the heat. Ross Cullen for CBC News, Paris.
Canada's sinking housing market is turning some owners into mortgage prisoners. The CBC's Andrew Chang explains what that is and how it's happening to pandemic-era buyers right across the country. That's next. Many Canadian homeowners took advantage of historically low mortgage rates during the pandemic to lock in for 5-year terms. Now a perfect storm is brewing as these terms come up for renewal. The CBC's Andrew Chang explains how owners are getting trapped in a depressed housing market.
Imagine you're pushed out of a plane. You're plummeting towards the ground, but no problem, you have a parachute, except you pull it. You look up at the canopy and it's got a giant hole in it. Or imagine you're driving on a dark road at night. You realize at some point you must have driven over a nail because you're losing tire pressure. You think, no problem, I've got a spare, except you go to check and the spare has a nail in it too. This is exactly the kind of oh no, followed by oh no situation that some homeowners are finding themselves in as they realize two things. One, that their mortgage payments have gotten too expensive. And two, that they can't refinance because the value of their home has dropped. Their parachute has a hole, their spare tire has deflated, their safety net doesn't have enough give. This is especially bad in the Toronto area, but it's a phenomenon that applies countrywide, where the homeowners who are most squeezed by higher interest rates just can't get the break they need from the banks. This is mortgage prison, and I can explain how it works. You don't need me to tell you how much more expensive everything is. Gas is up, and because gas is up, the price to ship everything is up. And speaking of everything, pandemic prices never really dropped back down to pre-pandemic levels, did they? But for homeowners, one of the biggest pain points can be interest rates. Remember those pandemic lows? Everyone was locked down, but the Bank of Canada was trying to stimulate spending by lowering interest rates. The key policy rate, almost 0%, just a quarter point.
It's by far the lowest that they ever went. It was an indicator as to how precarious the state of the Canadian economy was.
It was almost free money in a sense.
And a policy rate that low meant you could get a mortgage from a commercial bank at 1.5%. So lots of people saw that as a steal, and they locked in at those low rates for 5-year terms. Well, welcome to 5 years later. Sure, today, interest rates are nowhere near historic highs, but they're higher than they were during the pandemic. That means a 1.5%, 2% interest rate is more like 4% today, which really adds up. Let's say you have a $400,000 mortgage, enjoying that 1.5% rate over 20 years. That's a monthly payment of just over $1,900 a month. And by the end of your 5-year term, congratulations, you've knocked around $90,000 off your total loan. But 5 years later, yes, you're happy to have a smaller mortgage, but the higher rate is brutal. If you stay on track with your master plan, and now you have 15 years left on your mortgage, you're facing an increase of more than $350 a month just to stay in the home you already live in. But you can't afford that extra $350 a month because you're already stretched by the price of everything else. So instead of simply renewing your mortgage for another 5 years at this higher rate, you try to refinance.
The difference between a renewal and a refinance really boils down to whether a homeowner is withdrawing equity from a home or looking to rewrite the mortgage.
Refinancing would ask whether you qualify for a new mortgage. You could take out a brand new loan, different amortization, maybe extending your amortization.
So what most people do in this situation is figure out what they have control over. You can't control the size of the mortgage. You're paying as much as you can. You can't control the interest rate. That's set by God. I mean, the big banks. But you can control the amortization period. If everything was going according to plan, we'd have 15 years left on our loan. But things most certainly are not going according to plan. So what if we stretch this back out to 20 years? The longer the loan, the more time we have to pay off our debt, so our monthly payments drop accordingly. And through the magic of refinancing, this now actually works out to paying less every month on our mortgage because we've stretched it out so much. And this is pretty common amongst people who refinance. According to the Bank of Canada's latest financial stability report, among people who've refinanced in the last few years, about 70% extended their amortization by an average of 6 years. Big banks like this approach because long run, borrowers pay more interest on longer loans than shorter ones. So refinancing by stretching out the loan period. Borrowers get easier payments, banks make more money, it's win-win. Except, what if the bank says no? Why would the bank say no? When people who rent look at people who own, I think they often see the home equity that the owner has as wealth. But for the homeowner who may be struggling with this massive loan that they have to pay back, their home isn't just wealth, it's what gives them options when things go wrong.
Even if you don't want to sell your home, you could go to a bank and say, listen, I've got some good wealth here. Maybe I can borrow against that wealth. So beyond the fact that you might already have a mortgage, bank might be willing to extend you a line of credit or other products.
Remember how refinancing a mortgage compared to simply renewing your mortgage at a new interest rate is really effectively negotiating a whole new loan. And if you think about the way banks approve mortgages in the first place, they ask all kinds of questions, right? Who are you? What do you do for work? How much do you make? And what's the value of the home you're purchasing? That's useful to know because that's your collateral. If you can't pay your mortgage, the bank forecloses. You lose your home. So the bank, knowing what your home is worth, is willing to take a certain amount of risk. Based on all the numbers, including the value of your collateral, will lend you, say, up to a maximum of $400,000. So you can start to see the problem when home prices drop, as they have been, across the country as an average, by 20%, depending on how you crunch the numbers, in only a few years. It's just headline after headline. And lots of people who've tried to sell recently will tell you, just not selling at a loss is kind of a win.
If you're a seller and you don't have something that's amazing, it's tricky and you've got to be realistic.
So no easy autopilot profits to see here, folks. Here's the death spiral, though, as I've seen it described, where you're in a bind because what if the mortgage you were approved for during good times was really at the outer limits of what you could afford? You were already stretched, and then hard times hit. You go to your bank and say, help a guy out, except they look at your loan-to-value ratio, the size of your mortgage relative to the value of your home. An LTV of 75% is considered risky. You were already at almost 90%. And now with the value of your home dropping, you're at 100%. I'm simplifying here, but the point is, if your bank already saw you as high risk and your risk just increased because the value of your collateral decreased, then they may not want to play ball with you, either by allowing you to extract equity from your home or lengthening the term of your loan. It doesn't matter how creative you want to get.
It's higher risk for the lender to lend out money for a property that's simply not worth it.
According to the Bank of Canada, the pressure of this mortgage prison is greatest in major markets like Vancouver and Toronto. Nearly 1 in 10 mortgage holders in the Toronto area won't be able to refinance their loans or renew them with a new lender in 2027 if home prices remain at current depressed levels. And what's more, if home prices were to fall by another 10%, that share would rise modestly to about 7% nationally and 12% in the Toronto area. So here's the outlook, summed up in one graph. In its most recent forecast, the Bank of Canada figures around 12% of mortgages today whose 5-year terms are expiring in the next 12 months, they're about to face monthly payments that are 15% higher than what they've been paying. We call that pressure. The good news, all those mortgage holders who are facing renewals with shorter terms aren't nearly as affected. You see how small these two bars are? Because if you were only on a 3-year term or paying a free-flowing variable rate, you've already been paying higher interest rates anyway. You weren't paying pandemic low rates to begin with because you bought afterwards. And more good news, once we get into the second half of 2027, even for people with longer 5-year fixed terms, the price differential is still comparatively small because we're getting far enough into the future at this point that people, again, weren't paying pandemic low rates to begin with. So this big differential is the last wave of people sailing off the mortgage cliff. those people who bought at historic low rates but are now up for renewal at meaningfully higher rates. Now, it's not all bad news. The vast majority of people will find ways to make it work. The Bank of Canada notes, overall, mortgage defaults are fairly low and stable. But that doesn't change the fact that if you find yourself in an unfortunate situation and just can't make the math work, you're stuck in a very difficult place.
Steve Jung is back with another look at the weather. And Steve, we've been talking a lot about the heat, but I hear there's a little rain on the way.
Absolutely right, Janella. Looks like some relief is on the horizon. As we look over the forecast for the next day or so, we will see some showers forming. We can see over Wednesday. It does come in a little bit scattered at times, but as we get into Thursday evening and then into the early morning hours of Friday, we will see more of these systems forming over large parts of BC and covering actually almost the entire province and bringing with it some much needed precipitation to the south coast, to southern BC, to the central parts, and even up in the north of the province as well. So this could be a difference maker as we are continuing to watch some very elevated fire danger here in the province. But let's take a look at accumulations over the next few days as we head towards the weekend. We can see some rain accumulations in places, but it's not very much, really kind of trace amounts in a lot of areas. We'll see a bit more on the north coast and the central coast, as well as up in the northwest of BC. And some in the northeast as well, but really not very much. But again, keeping in mind, this is not total rainfall. This is just accumulations on the south coast in large parts. See a bit more accumulation on Vancouver Island, but some trace amounts in other parts of our region of the province. As we look towards tomorrow, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud over much of BC. We'll see the risk of thunderstorms in Fort St. John, Prince George, Williams Lake, as well as in Kamloops and in Cranbrook. This is something that we're always watching as we are dealing with a higher fire danger at this time because of the possibility of lightning strikes starting more fires. And we did hear about some of that happening in northern parts of BC just earlier today. At least a couple fires started, according to BC Wildfire Service, they suspect by lightning strikes. And we do have some good news on that front, though. We do see that the Lytton wildfire, the Saw Creek wildfire, now brought under control, according to BC Wildfire Service. And maybe the rain that we're seeing in the coming days will help. But higher temperatures as we head into tomorrow, 33 degrees in Kamloops, 31 in Kelowna, 28 in Whistler. Let's take a look at the south coast specifically, though. Higher temperatures across this area as well. Mix of sun and cloud as we head towards that wetter weather later on in the week. 31 degrees in Port Alberni with a chance of showers and a risk of thunderstorms there as well, but mix of sun and cloud elsewhere. And as we look at the 5-day forecast for Metro Vancouver, mix of sun and cloud for our city as we head towards the midweek point. Increasing cloud cover on Thursday, and there's that chance of showers on Friday with some cooling temperatures and some more chance of showers later on in the weekend on Sunday. Janella?
Bring on that wetter weather. Good little tongue twister. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure.
How Alberta beekeepers are trying to save honeybees from Canada's cruel winters. That's after the break.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
This Saturday, join CBC as the Vancouver Bandits take the court for Filipino Heritage Night. Take your shot against Michelle Elliott at the Bandits Backyard Barbecue and win CBC swag. And celebrate the soccer spirit with CBC. We've transformed the CBC Outdoor Plaza into the ultimate pre-game hub featuring music, prizes, and global flavors. Full schedule at cbc.ca/homepitch.
Honey production is a multi-million-dollar industry in Canada, but every year honeybee colonies face the threat of winter.
The CBC's Chelsea Mutter has more on an innovative new approach to help more bees survive it.
It might be summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, but some Alberta beekeepers are already planning for winter. It's an especially dangerous time for bees, with only half of the country's hives surviving the harsh season, and that has a local company working on a homegrown solution. Meet the Bee Cube, a revolutionary indoor apiary with a fully controlled environment designed just outside of Calgary in Okotoks. It's a technology the company says is shaking up 150 years of traditional beekeeping.
So it's been a great learning experience. So now the goal is to replicate this and do this in more hives.
Out of about 800,000 hives in Canada, only 50% survive our winters, forcing Canadian beekeepers to import replacements from places like Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, and California. The Bee Cube's goal is to breed robust queens that are better adapted to the cold and local microbiome. Inside the cube, a team is carrying out a delicate scientific mission, selecting larvae from Alberta hives that have successfully survived a brutal winter.
The queen is laying 2,000 eggs a day.
To produce these queens, the beekeepers use a technique called grafting, taking larvae out of a cell and putting them in a special cup with royal jelly.
We put, for example, in queen less colonies. Next day, we come in here, check how many queen cells is ready.
A far cry from traditional farming. Herman Van Riekum and his team rely on the advanced engineering of the Bee Cube to breed the Alberta super bee. Using smart sensors, they monitor the temperature and humidity at the heart of the brood nest in real time to ensure optimal development.
We produced about almost 800 last year. This year, we'd like to make 5,000. That's kind of our goal for this year.
About 1/3 of the human diet relies on bee pollination. By successfully winning the wintering gamble, the team is helping secure the food supply, one queen at a time. Chelsea Mutter, CBC News, Calgary.
Bees are strangely cute. Well, thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News. To keep up with all the latest news, you can go to our website, cbc.ca/bc.
I'll have your next local news at 11 o'clock right after the National. Have a good night.
Good night.